the Nerdlings, Shiny Squirrel Podcast Network. I'm WC Chronicles Senior Nerdling.
And I'm Jersey Mike Junior Nerdling. I'm wearing my glasses now because we are doing a tribute to, on top of Old Smokey, who is...
Bruce Springsteen.
Which is from my home state of New Jersey, Asbury Park, if I'm not mistaken, 100 on the Garden State Parkway, baby. Stone Pony, Asbury Park, doesn't get better than Springsteen.
So we've been meaning to do a Springsteen Uniquity show. Actually, I was prepping and doing the research for it, and that's when we got word that Bowie passed away.
Yeah, I know. It was just like a shock.
It was a shock. We switched gears and said, let's do Bowie, which is actually one of our top 5 podcasts,
Wow.
believe it or not.
And I'll tell you, but just, that, and when you go from Bowie now to Springsteen, it's just like, it's just like some of the best rock of all time from guys that were just guys who wanted to play.
Yeah, I mean, Springsteen, he puts on a 3 or 4 hour show still to this day. Still,
Wow.
all the time. He's on tour right now doing the box set for The River.
Oh, wow.
Have you ever heard of an artist touring for a box set? I never have.
No, you know what that is? That's just that running blood from Jersey, Mr. Springsteen. You got it cold. Jersey Mike salutes you on that, sir. That's good stuff on a box set. He's not even going to make a lot of money. He's just doing it because he loves the art.
No two Springsteen shows are the same. Not at all. Not ever. So we got here what we call their uniquities. This is where we're going to talk about some rare songs, some not so rare songs. Some of the songs we may play fully, completely because they're that good, that fun. Some of them will just little snippets of it. But the first one I got, which is actually not Bruce Springsteen. It's from 1982, 34 years ago.
Wow.
It was by two people from Baltimore, Maryland, named Tom Chalkley and Craig Hampkin, okay? Now, the first time I heard this, a lot of people thought it was real, and it almost made the charts.
Oh, wow.
That's the thing, it almost made the charts. It is a Springsteen impersonation. Should I just play it? Do you like that?
Yeah, just play it. Just play it through.
And it's funny because you know how Springsteen always does that beginning rap at the beginning of talking about a song, whether it be a car part or something.
Yeah.
So...
We're the Tunnel of Love going down to the Jersey Shore and
you gotta have
the boardwalk, the beach, the Ferris wheel, and hot dogs.
when that came out in 1982, I remember I was hearing it. They were playing it on KKRZ in Portland, and a lot of people thought it was actually Bruce Springsteen.
Can I tell you something? That sounds exactly like him. They have the music like the E Street Band, exactly like him talking. And I can see why people would just think that was like a Springsteen concert song that came out of nowhere, and all of a sudden it's a hit.
It was a one-off. Now, I'm happy to do the Springsteen uniquities, but we forgot to talk about that opening song that we did. That was Bruce Springsteen doing "On Top of Old Smoky," his salute to Mount St. Helens in Washington State.
Before it erupted.
Actually, I believe it was just before the May 18th eruption.
Wow.
I didn't get the exact mark date on that.
But you lived in Portland, huh?
I
That
lived
must
in
have been
Portland.
something. Ashes, huh?
We had to walk to school wearing the dust mask, and this was before the May 18th because the wind would blow it down when she was just coming back to life. I was in 8th grade at the time.
Wow.
And Mount St. Helens was coming to life, and he did a one-off of "On Top of Old Smoky."
Wow.
And then, so then we just played the "Meet Them Flintstones." That was actually that song, that B-side of that song, they did a take of him doing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game."
Wow. I'll tell you what, also another 1982 person just passed away. Vanity.
Vanity passed away.
Vanity 6. Nasty Girls, man. That's just insane. Don't mess with drugs and alcohol, because that's what she died of, her liver.
Prince's cohort from Purple Rain.
Yep.
But that song, Meet the Flintstones, is still available on some collections on CD from Rhino Records.
You gotta be kidding me.
Not kidding. And you can still find the 45. They put a neat little 45 out of Bruce Springsteen and Clarence Clemens wearing the Flintstones clothes.
Hey, let me tell you.
$10-15, the original 45 can be yours.
That's crazy, man. Springsteen, I'll tell you, E Street Band. You got guys, the lead guy was number 3 on The Sopranos. Steven Van Zandt.
Thank you for remembering that.
He played, I'm trying to, come on, my brain doesn't work.
I didn't have cable, so I didn't know.
Not Paulie Walnuts, but he's always used to say, they let me go, then they suck me back in, like from The Godfather.
And then he does his Steven's Underground Garage.
Oh, wow.
Played music. Are you ready for the next one?
Oh, I'm ready. Anything with Springsteen, my home state.
This is another fun one. This is actually Springsteen.
Wow.
Recorded in July 1990, released in 1991 on a Disney charity album for the Patriotic AIDS Foundation.
Wow.
This is called...
I'm wowing is because I'm a little awe, because Springsteen, he just comes. I remember on a video they shot somewhere in Asbury Park that you just heard on the news that Springsteen just showed up in his van out of nowhere, parked it on the street, walked to the set. When it was done, got in his van and rolled. Come on.
He drives himself.
Yeah, that's a rock star.
It's not very often you hear of stars who drive themselves around.
No.
Because they can get away with it. So this is called Chicken Lips and Lizard Hips. I'm going to play the entirety because you got to hear it.
Chicken Lips.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, it's all you kids out there that hate your mom and pop forcing you to eat everything that's on your dinner plate every night. Yeah, when I was a little kid, see, I never liked to eat. And mom would put things on my plate and I'd dump them on her feet. But then one day she made this soup, I ate it all in bed. I asked her what she put in it, and well, this is what she said. Oh, chicken lips and lizard hips and alligator eyes. Yeah, monkey legs and buzzard eggs and salamander thighs. Well, rabbit ears and camel rears and tasty toenail pies. Stir them all together and it's mama's soup surprise. Beside the sink, I said I'm feeling slightly ill and I think I'd like a drink. Mama said just the thing, I'll get it in a wink. It's full of lots of protein and vitamins, I think. It was chicken lips and lizard hips and alligator eyes. Yeah, monkey legs and buzzard eggs and salamander thighs. Rabbit ears and camel rears and tasty toenail pies. Stir them all together, it's mama's soup surprise.
That That was Chicken Lips and Lizard Hips.
Wow, Mama Soup Surprise.
So they actually released that as a B-side of a single in Australia in 1991. The A-side was Little Richard doing Itsy Bitsy Spider.
Wow.
I think this should have been the A-side.
Yeah. I didn't know they were back then touring, and I'll tell you what, they've toured so much, it's just like you don't even know.
He never stops, thank God.
Born in the USA, I think, was one of his all-time selling albums.
Yeah, that's the one.
Asbury Park.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just so much stuff he had. I remember going down the shore and winning like a poster of him and putting it up in my room, and it was like Bruce Springsteen, and then you had like those little, like those wooden things, like a little frame around it and the picture.
That is so funny that you mentioned poster, because our next feature track is where he does a duet with somebody. He appears in the music video, but he only appears as one of those old wanted posters.
Really?
Yes. He's always he's either being a guest on this person's stage show or vice versa.
Oh, wow.
Or vice versa.
Or vice versa.
Which doesn't
It all
matter.
works.
I'm talking about John Fogerty.
Wow.
He's always joining each other for some song. There's a lot of videos on YouTube doing old Creedence material.
Isn't John Fogerty coming to the Venetian?
He is, or he just finished up actually
Okay,
a run at the Venetian for like 7 shows.
Wow, I'll tell you, Vegas, you never know who you're going to run into. Chicken lips, buzzard hips, and alligator eyes.
So in 2009, John Fogerty released his album, which was called Blue Ridge Rangers Ride Again, which was a take on from his original album, the Blue Ridge Rangers album from '72, but he wanted to do it again. He and Springsteen joined together on the Everly Brothers classic When Will I Be Loved?
Wow.
And the video for it is really funny because they get to his part of the song and it's just this wanted poster and it says The Boss in the music video.
There you go, The Boss.
So here we go with When Will I Be Loved, John Fogerty and Bruce Springsteen. Sound so good together. They complement each other so good. I would love to see a Springsteen Fogerty album together.
And a concert tour and pouring back into like a worldwide tour. I'll tell you what, they'd be on tour for at least a couple of years.
That would be so cool. They could alternate back and forth.
Yeah.
Jeez,
wow.
That'd be like an 8-hour concert tour. Stop. That's incredible.
That would be like the best $500 price ticket you'd ever spend because you get your money worth endlessly.
You could. You could spend... I want to bring this up right now, okay?
Yeah.
Ticket prices for concerts are getting so ridiculous that sometimes it's almost better to go see a tribute band. Coming here in Las Vegas, coming in March, I think it is, into March.
Okay.
There's going to be the U2 tribute band called
Really?
Desire from Ontario, Canada.
Nice.
I think it's the guys that U2 actually pulled up on concert stage.
Wow.
$10 at the door at the Cannery.
Oh, you can't beat that.
I think we should reach out to them and see if they would be interested to be on the podcast.
Wow, that would be awesome because can I tell you something? I saw Britney Spears last year for me and my niece's birthday. I paid $180 to stand in the pit.
Ugh.
3 of us. They paid theirs. That was like 5 something. But Britney Spears, you're worth it. But J-Lo is going for $220 a ticket now.
$220.
Yep. The problem is, you're right. You can't afford these prices. I mean, Vegas is really really sending in to get people's money. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, they're becoming like unbelievable. So I wonder what Mariah Carey is. Then you have Celine Dion, Rod Stewart. These are some very high priced tickets here.
I admit, during the Elevation tour, I paid $600 for like for 4 tickets to see U2.
Oh wow.
And it's like I cannot afford this ever again. So
No.
I'm willing to pony up $10 to go see Desire.
It's funny you say pony up. The
po-
Stone
pony.
Pony, Asbury Park. You never know when Springsteen's going to come there and play. I hear he just walks up, and sometimes he just comes up, does like an hour and a half, 2-hour concert, and people are shocked.
That's
just comes
it.
in.
He comes in. He's friendly with so many of the different people. Gary U.S. Bonds. The list could go on and on. Of that. The Born in the USA album.
Oh, one of my favorite songs from that's Tunnel of Love, man. One of
Tunnel of-
classic.
Well, that was the other tour. But do you remember when Courtney Cox got pulled up on the first
Yep.
video for Dancing in the Dark?
Dancing in the Dark, but you didn't know it was Courtney Cox. And look at her
Nobody
now.
knew.
No.
It was a 16-year-old Courtney Cox. Now, I heard it was like maybe 10 years ago, they were getting ready to reduplicate that
wow.
whole thing because there was so much. It was right in the middle of Friends, popularity of that.
Wow.
So I think so many people were looking forward to that because it was such a nerdling thing to
Yeah.
do. But for some reason, there was a breakdown in communication. For some reason, she couldn't be there at the Los Angeles Forum where he was doing the show, and it never happened.
Wow.
Why can't we make this still happen?
Yes, 2016. Why can't we go back to the 80s? The
Yes.
awesome 80s they talk about was on last night. Whole show, Purple Rain, Springsteen concert. Then you have...
We need to enjoy our
yeah.
people while we still have
yes,
them here.
we do, because they're getting older now. We're not young. How old is Springsteen, by the way? He's got to be like, what?
68?
Wow.
I'm thinking. I'm not sure. I'm
Oh
not
my
sure.
gosh, I'll tell you.
But going back to the 80s, Cheech Marin even got on the Born in the USA bandwagon with
Yeah, I
his
remember
parody
that,
of Born in East LA. Do you remember the song?
I was born in East LA, man.
Yeah, it was okay. So it was put out as a single. The thing is, Cheech wrote it. Okay, nothing to do with Chong, but he wanted it to go out as a Cheech and Chong song, and he asked Cheech to sing backup, and Chong was insulted by him asking him to sing backup for it. So he ended up just releasing it by himself. It came from their album. What was the name of their album? Get Out of My Room, which was a Cheech and Chong album, and it just missed the top 40. I remember they would play this all the time on the Z Morning Zoo. So here's Cheech Marin doing Born in East LA.
I love that song, man. That was cool.
Took a walk to the corner store just to buy a loaf of bread and a box of s'mores. Up pulled a guy in a yellow van, shiny gold badge flashing in his hand. He said, "All right, all you mojados down here, I want y'all to hit the floor. I got one thing to ask you and nothing more. So answer in English, if you can. Where were you born, man?" Huh? Where was I born? That's right, I said, where were you born? Hey, you one of those dudes that do horoscopes, man? Hey, I'm a Cancer with a bad moon. Right here, El Fago, watch my lips. Where were you born? I was born in East LA, man. I was born in East LA. Oh, yeah, you're born in East LA. Well, let's see your green card, huh? Green card? I'm from East LA. All right, well, then who's president of the United States? Oh, that's easy, man. That guy that used to be on Death Valley days, John Wayne. All right, let's go. Come on. Next thing I know, I'm in a foreign land. People talking so fast I couldn't understand. There was nobody there to lend a helping hand. I was cold, it was dark. Where is a burger stand? I want to go back to East LA. I wish I was back in East LA. I don't belong here in downtown PJ, 'cause I was
gotta love
I
Cheech
do.
Chewin, Born in East LA. Now, I think if he tried, anybody, any artist, even comic, tried to make a song like that today, the world would come down on their head.
Yeah.
You're racist. You're not a good person.
That's a time where things just flowed. People were nice.
You could have
cool.
fun.
Yeah, exactly. Have fun. You can make fun of yourself, fun of your culture.
Oh, it
'cause
hurt my
everybody was all right.
feelings.
Yeah.
You hurt my feelings. Just have fun at yourself.
I was
you
in
know?
East LA one time. The first time I went to LA, I wound up there, and it was weird because the hills go all the way up.
Yeah.
They have those barrios, like stuff like that, the churches, you're in the city and everything. It's a little vato loco there. It's a little crazy, but
Yeah.
the people were okay. You just got to watch yourself, like you go anywhere. Even come into Vegas, you got to watch yourself. But East LA, like you said, was a tremendous hit, and it was fun. I remember the video.
I
They all
remember
had
the video
handkerchiefs
too.
on. Hey man, I'm from East LA. Where are you from?
Cheech and Chong movies.
Oh, I
we could do a
know.
whole podcast on them,
Oh.
But that song just missed the top 40, believe it or
Wow.
not, which was for 1980. I think it started on the Dr. Demento show, and then regular radio started picking up in morning shows.
I remember when they did the video for that on MTV. Remember MTV Music Television?
Real
they had
TV.
Yeah, they had the guy with the flag on the moon. Those are the 80s, everyone.
Those were the good times. All right, so Springsteen is always changing up his set list all the time, okay? So it was January 16th of this year. It was the first night of the River Tour. And then that's when David Bowie passed away.
Yeah.
Days before that, actually. Now, David Bowie actually did record a few Springsteen songs.
Wow.
He covered, we're not going to play it, but Bowie covered It's Hard to Be a Saint in the City and Growing Up,
Wow.
in two of his albums. But this particular night, the first night of the tour, Springsteen paid tribute to Bowie by doing a cover, on stage live
Wow.
cover of Rebel Rebel. And this is it here.
I want to take a moment and just note the passing of our good friend David Bowie. David, I don't know if people know, but he supported our music way back in the very, very beginning. 1973. He rang me up and I visited him down in Philly while he was making the Young American record. And he covered some of my music, Hard to Be a Saint in the City, and Growing Up, and he was a big supporter of ours, particularly when I took the Greyhound bus down to Philadelphia. That's how early it was. But anyway, we're thinking of
Springsteen paying tribute to David Bowie, Rebel Rebel, January 16th in Pittsburgh. First night of the River Tour.
Pittsburgh, Three Rivers Stadium. That must have been one hell of a show, man.
So, what was your first Springsteen album?
Oh, probably. Oh my gosh, man! You put me on the spot on that one. I don't even know. I'd have to go back.
Mine was in high school in the 80s, born in the USA.
I think it was before that. I don't know if it was Asbury Park or the one before that one.
How did you get it? Did you buy it? Or?
Yeah, I bought it in the store.
Because Springsteen was just coming out, and I wasn't too aware of what it was. I was still more into Huey Lewis and the News.
Gotcha.
But I borrowed the cassette tape. It's like, I better find out what this Springsteen guy's all about. I borrowed a Born in the USA cassette tape from a friend, and I think I played it so much it wore the letterings off the cassette tape.
Oh wow! No, I think I got it when I lived in Maywood, which is North Jersey. I think I got one when I was 7 or 8 years old.
Really?
Springsteen. Yeah, because everybody knew Bruce Springsteen because we're from New Jersey.
Okay.
And it's like, you went down to the shore, and then he sung about the shore. The Jersey.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll tell you. One of my favorite all-time Springsteen song is "Jersey Girl."
Jersey
That's
Girl?
one of the most classic, good soul music coming
It's in
from
your
back
blood.
east.
It's in your roots.
It's in my blood, my roots, my soul. Doesn't get better than that, man. Wow.
When did you first get the album Born to Run? I remember that because I kept hearing people talk
I think
about
19, was it 83 or 84?
Well, it came out actually 75 because
Okay.
he was on the cover of Time and I think it was Life magazine at the same time.
Okay.
People are saying WC Chronicles, get your facts right. But he was on the cover of
Hey,
both
listen,
of them.
I don't know my facts, my head. I'm just from Jersey, so
Hey,
fuck it. Oh, frig it.
We're just
It
covering
is what it is,
we're
yeah.
just covering the uniquities
But
here.
you know the uniquities of that, though? That song, Tramps Like Us, Baby You Are Born to Run. If you get that going and you drive in a car,
That's
you just
it.
listen to that.
Yeah.
There's just something about that when he sings like, 1, 2, 3, 4, Tramps Like Us. I
Yep.
mean, you feel like that's what you were meant for, just to be
Yeah.
free.
It was. I mean, it was a good thing. This is what we do here on the Nerdlings
see,
podcast.
70s.
We're talking about
I
stuff that we grew up with.
Yeah, 80s, graduated high school, and then it's just like, things changed halfway through the 90s. This music, this good quality, the videos, the family, things just went,
The good stuff.
yeah, things just went bang, and you don't know what the hell happened to that. And you're right, you got to stay in touch with your Nerdling side. Springsteen, Born to Run, 70s. Oh my gosh. Wow, I remember that tour. You seen it on television, the news,
Yes.
and people were busting to get tickets, and people were just there and stuff. But this man goes to the same club where he started from and plays. He just
Over and
goes
over.
out and
Yeah,
rocks.
'cause he
That's what
wants
it's
to.
about.
So
The Garden State Arts Center, when he plays there, which is I think on 100, like 113 or 118 on the Parkway,
Yeah.
which is like this big theater. Okay, people just wait to play when he plays that, or when he plays Giant Stadium, the old Giant Stadium, and stuff.
or even the LA Forum.
Forget it.
My God.
Forget it. But I'm talking about where he comes from. He's playing his own state. There's some kind of magic there, man.
Yeah.
It's just like when if the Oregon Trailblazers or whatever group comes from there, it plays home. There's just something different
Your
about
home
it when you're
soil.
home.
Your
Yeah,
home
there's
soil.
something different about it.
So brings us to our next track of Uniquities. After Bowie passed away, Glenn Frey passed away, which I think we should do a Uniquities show on Glenn Frey because he has a lot of
Love the
catalog.
Eagles.
Anyway, this was from the ninth. He was scheduled to do a show in Chicago on the 19th, but it was canceled due to snow. Okay, no, I'm sorry. A few days later, he was supposed to do a show at Madison Square Gardens,
Oh, wow.
and it got canceled. He just did a show on January 19th in Chicago. Okay, to make it up to his fans because the show was canceled, he gave the whole Chicago concert away for free
Wow.
on his website.
Wow.
So here's our treat of him doing Take It Easy. It was only for a few days. Luckily, I was Johnny on the spot and was able to get it.
Isn't that unbelievable? You're always Johnny on the spot and get all these facts.
I try.
You pull it out of the air. It's amazing.
So we're going to sneak it in. Here is him doing Take It Easy from Chicago the 19th, which he gave out for free.
Wow.
And it's not on YouTube. Haha.
Ha ha.
Well, I'm running down the road trying to loosen my load. I got 7 women
So that's Springsteen tributing to Glenn Fry of the Eagles doing Take It Easy. And I love that steel string acoustic stuff.
That is just priceless right there.
It sounds so nice. I mean, the song will go on for another 3 minutes, but we can't play the whole thing because we don't want to get in trouble. But anyway, have you ever been to Winslow, Arizona?
No.
I actually ended up there by mistake.
How?
I went down to, this was about maybe 2 years ago, I went to visit Meteor Crater in Arizona.
Oh,
this is the crater that crashed, the meteor that crashed 50,000 years ago.
Did you find any meteor?
Yes, I did.
Oh, cool.
I got a little tiny test tube. That's a whole other story of how you can go find pieces of the actual 4.5 billion year old meteor and not get in trouble.
That's amazing.
But Winslow, I was staying in Winslow, Arizona, and I didn't realize it at the time. There's a 4-way stop there in the middle of the town, and it's a complete little tourist trap paying tribute to the Eagles. There's a flatbed Ford.
Really?
They got bronze statues of the Eagles. You got to go there.
For a second there, I thought you said they're going to have bras, stone. Hey, I was going to say, hey, wait a second, guys, bra statues. Now, wait a second. Now, where's this at? I want to go there. I'm not having any action up here in Vegas, which is pretty sad, but a bra statue, you know? Well, hey, you know where those asses wound up from the Riviera?
Where did they end up at?
Planet Hollywood bought them.
Did they?
Yes, and they're in the casino.
Did the show move over there as well?
I don't know about that. I just saw the asses. It was like, wow, bronze asses I could look at for free and not get yelled at.
I had fun running through the Riviera, making all kinds of different little comedy videos that I posted on the Instagram account. You can go back and look at those if you want. WCW_comedy. So, what have you ever seen Springsteen live? No, that's the ultimate question we got to ask each other.
Never got to see him live, which is sad because I come from Jersey. I tried to get tickets when I was younger. It was always sold out. If you didn't know somebody who knew the lighting person, or knew somebody who knew the security guard, they were sold out. That's how fast they lit up.
How is it that I don't even have to start telling a story, but you bring something up that gives a good lead-in, Jersey Mike?
I don't know.
Because I got to see him for free.
How did you pull this one off, Obi-Wan Kenobi? The Obi-Wan?
This is a great story.
Mr. Senior Nerd.
I think you're going to like this. This is kind of a two-part story. All right, so at the time, Tunnel of Love Tour, 1988. Okay. I was a track coach. I had my own track club. I was teaching kids how to run track and field, get physical fit. And the Tunnel of Love Tour was coming to Tacoma, Washington, Tacoma Dome, near Mount St. Helens, actually.
Oh, wow.
I had knew one of the students who was in my track club. His dad was friends of one of the truck drivers who was driving all the rig materials and stage setting for Springsteen's Tunnel of Tour. Okay? So we were going to try to get tickets. He was going to try. No guarantee at all. He said, I'll try to get you tickets. They'll be on will call at the door. Don't know.
You just had to show up?
We just had to show up, but we had no guarantee. It was a 50-50 chance in the dark.
Wow.
We leave about 5 o'clock afternoon. I think it was on May 5th or May 6th because it was a 2-night stand. I can't remember which day it was.
Oh, wow.
Me and 2 friends, we go darting up there to Tacoma, and we're waiting at will call, and we can't get tickets for some reason.
Wow.
But for some reason, the local radio station that was sponsoring it had a bunch of winners where we're waiting out there.
Nice.
We get in line with these radio station for tickets. Nobody was checking ID. The music was starting, and they just come out, and they basically just handed us these tickets.
Wow.
Okay? But here's the better part. These tickets were for the floor down on the Tacoma Dome for seats that did not exist because these are seats and rows they had to take out for the soundboard.
Wow.
So the security people are sitting there looking at our tickets, and maybe another half a dozen or 10 people looking for seats that don't exist.
Wow.
So what we ended up doing, when you go to a Springsteen concert, you don't sit down. You stand up. We stood in front of the soundboard the whole concert.
Oh. How close were you to Springsteen?
We were probably about half a football field.
Wow.
Because it was right down in the middle. And it was all free.
That is something else. That is a story of stories. Wow.
Oh, but wait. As they say, there's more.
Now, wait a second.
You have some Ginsu knives coming.
Let me take my glasses off for this one. What could be better than that?
What could be better than that?
Let me guess.
This was at a time in my youth when I had a fun time of sneaking my tape recorder, small little Walkman, into concerts and recording them live.
And that's when they didn't strip search you and this and that. They just said, pat you down, that was it.
Yeah, quick pat down, make sure no weapons, just get in, and that's it.
Ladies, open your purse, we're not going to search you.
Yeah.
We don't want to molest you.
Not TSA. Yeah. I snuck my Walkman in, and I was actually able to record the concert.
Wow, where do you have this precious tape at?
It's buried somewhere at my parents' house. But at the time, I was so excited for it because I went ahead and traded it out to a few people.
Oh, nice.
So it did get out. It's still out there somewhere.
Wow.
This particular night, okay, so remember Joan Jett and Michael J. Fox did that movie called Light of Day?
Yes.
It was a song written by Springsteen the year before.
Okay.
Springsteen had not performed Light of Day in concert yet. And it was the first time that he started to add in Light of Day.
Wow. You got it on the track.
It better. Okay, but wait, not only am I going to throw in those Ginsu knives, I'm going to throw you in the song Born to Be Wild.
Wow, Born to Be Wild.
First time he ever performed Born to Be Wild in the medley. And it was a continuation on the rest of the tour as well, but I got it on tape as well. So, now you ever heard of a collector's record audio magazine called Goldmine?
No.
Never heard of that?
No.
Okay. Well, it was maybe 12 months later or something. Goldmine did an article. This is before internet. They did an article. And
Hey, before the internet,
Yes, before.
what is that?
before podcasts.
You had to read.
They did an article that we talked about people who were collectors of all this rare material, fanzines, just the way you would trade tapes. Send me a
Okay.
tape, pen pal list.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I'll send you a tape of my rare Springsteen material. That's how basically the tape got out.
And it got through mail, not email. You actually had to go to the store
Yeah.
or the post office
Yes,
and mail it.
And mail it. But here in this article, they talked about, they were citing as an example how someone snuck a recorder into the Springsteen concert, recorded Born to Be Wild, part of Light of Day, and it got out. And
That
it
was you.
That was me.
Wow.
That was me.
Hey.
So
Wow.
I'm reading about myself here in Goldmine.
That is pretty friggin' fantastic. You're reading about yourself in Goldmine, something
Yes.
you created, and there could be a whole underground of stuff we don't even know about.
That's it. But you know what's funny is I went searching on the internet because this tape is buried in my parents' house back up
Wow.
in Portland. You know what? I'm just going to play it and you can figure out the rest.
So this is you actually did this.
I'm going to play it and let you figure out the
All
fun.
right.
This is the fun. I think this will make it the fun part, okay?
Wow.
And then that song went on for like 8-9 minutes, started Light of Day, Born to Be Wild, and then finished up with Light of
So
Day
you
again.
actually are an unrecorded official recording artist now.
Some kind of bootlegger.
Yeah.
I'd love to, at the time it was the bootlegging, because we didn't have CDs basically.
No.
You couldn't
Tapes,
find
that
them.
was it.
Tapes, that was it.
TDK, I don't even know
And
what the
I liked
names
regular
were.
cassette tapes. I hated
Okay.
those little micro tapes. Oh, I hated those. But that's
I wonder where all that stuff wound up, like all the VCRs, all the big boom boxes, and all the stuff, all the tapes, VHSs and stuff.
I still owe everybody a video transfer from the Zoe McClellan
Yes,
videotape
you do.
I was talking about 3 months ago.
Yep.
Go back, Nerdlings, and then you can find that one.
Yeah, but what really happened to VHS? I see one of the groups have a VHS tour come up 2016 now. Where does all this stuff wind up? All this. You mean, you remember?
I have 2 players still at my folks' house because I'm not
Wow.
bringing them down here because I need them. I still have an archive I need to go through and stuff.
And I remember 8-track tapes and stuff. Those stuff is like,
Those
wow.
were I got 8-track
Yeah.
tape stories. Those are fun. Those are a lot of fun.
Remember, Keep On Trucking.
So if you had to do you ever heard of Desert Island Disc? That was
No.
the article that used to be in Pulse magazine from Tower Records. This would be like your top 10 desert. You're going to a desert island,
Okay.
and you can only take 10 songs with you. What would be your if you could only take one Springsteen song with you? What would it be?
Tramps Like Us, Baby I Was Born to Run. 'Cause I'm
Born to
not
Run.
running anywhere on that island.
What about Glory Days?
Oh, Glory Days, yeah.
I was right in the middle of high school, and there's just some reason that song just.
But if you really want to come down to it, I'd have to go with over them all, probably Jersey Girl.
Jersey
Because
Girl.
that's one of his classics. But no, I like Born to Run because it's like, I consider myself a tramp.
A tramp? Well, the reason why I'm bringing up Glory Days is because for years I heard about this extra verse.
You got it.
This extra verse that was written into Glory Days, but then edited out later because it's about his father who gets unemployed, laid off from the truck making plant, and he just realized it didn't fit in the song.
Wow.
Hello, Internet.
Hey, listen, this is classic, man.
This really is. So
This is classic.
I have it here. You can find it's on YouTube. It's the extra verse, which is great because I remember we were there on the floor in Tacoma Dome, and he hits Glory Days. The house lights go up, and everybody just jumps up and just goes
man,
crazy.
that must have been crazy. I'll tell you, Springsteen. I got to ask him a question. If you're listening to this, Mr. Springsteen or Bruce Springsteen, what is your most favorite thing about living in New Jersey? That's what I've always wanted to ask you.
All right, who's he married to now? I forgot about this. I got to bring
Yeah,
this
so
up.
did I.
Patty Scarfa.
Yeah, from the E Street Band. But I
Yeah.
remember before that, he was married to that model.
Julianne Phillips
Yes.
from Lake Oswego, Oregon.
Oh, there you go.
That's where I'm from originally.
Really?
Really?
Wow. Did you know her?
No, you got to remember, this was at a time when I was still in high school and she was probably in much older. But he got married in Lake Oswego, Oregon.
Oh, wow.
He was married to Julianne Phillips for a while.
Yeah, I know.
From
She
there.
was a model, actress.
Yeah. Don't know whatever happened to her.
No, I don't. But Patty Scarfa, like I said, that's amazing. But I have one question for you, Mr. Bruce. What do you like best about Jersey? Because you know exactly what I mean in your blood. What do you like best about it?
So here we are. We're going to play let's play the full verse out, or the whole Glory Days out. We'll come back to finish up.
1, 2, 3, 4. Make you
Had to play out the full track there, Bruce Springsteen. Extra verse of Glory
Well,
Days.
I'll tell you what, that scene when he's talking about his father saying, my old man got
Yeah.
laid off, I was 9 years old. That's when things, you remember back in the 80s when the gas lines were odd and
Yep.
even days and things were
Yep.
really bad. And I remember gas lines around the corner because we lived on halfway up the block, and I remember the Exxon on the corner.
I remember
100
my
cars
folks
deep.
having to go, my parents getting up at 5 o'clock because it was a whatever day their license plate was to go get gas. It
To
was
get
weird.
gas.
And here we are swimming in now
Yeah,
in prices that are 7 years low.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable how governments and people are run by government and people, meaning people just have to let go and enjoy. Listen
Yeah.
to this podcast.
Yeah.
Listen to the older Nerdlings stuff.
Listen to our old Nerdlings podcast because we are giving you a place to come with us and talk about old memories because I don't think I've ever told those stories of what I just told about Lake Oswego and Tacoma Dome and Born to Be Wild.
And then hearing that about how he sung about Old Smoky,
Yeah.
an actual big thing when Mount St. Helens blew up. You experienced it. That's life.
That's life.
That was your life on the West Coast. He comes from where I come from. I mean, you hear Springsteen, it's like, oh, the Boss, Jersey, Tunnel of Love. I mean, this is how things are. You grew up, you lived up in North Jersey, you went down to the shore, you spent time with your family, their families, your kids went, your kids' kids. What happened to those old Nerdling days? Really, what has happened to us?
They are back here on the podcast with us.
And I'll tell you what, people listen. This is like
3 months from now, I think we're going to have to do. He has enough uniquities that we can go and explore and talk about another set of uniquities in about 3 months. Let's do it.
Oh, that sounds great.
An extra.
An extra Springsteen. And listen, he married a true love of his life in the band, Patty Scarf. I
true
forgot
Jersey
all about
girl.
that. Yeah. Who he possibly wrote the song for. How do you know? How do you know where this stuff comes from? How do you know he knew Bowie, called him, he took the Greyhound down to Philly in 73. I mean, that's going down the Jersey, probably he hit from the Jersey Turnpike, the Parkway, and had to go down the Expressway.
Yeah.
That's life. That's Jersey. That's Philly. That's Oregon.
We're just barely touching the surface of his career, and we're going to get to more of it.
I'll tell you.
Anything else you want to say?
The only thing I gotta say is Bruce Springsteen really turned around, like Bon Jovi, Susan Sarandon, Jersey Mike. Thousands of people come out of Jersey. We're just driven people. They say we have one of the worst attitudes towards people. No, it's because we've been beat up, cut. We just go through life. It's just faster paced there, and that's what life's about. Oregon, you guys deal with rain all day. So it's like, doesn't get worse than that.
The Northwest, it rains all the time, and volcanoes blow up. Yeah. This is WC Chronicles of the Nerdlings on the Shiny Squirrel Podcast Network, and this has been our Springsteen Uniquities podcast.
Ready to roll. Go see Springsteen 2016. Yes.